Hello, friends, and welcome back to Malicious Compliance Stories. Because the more insulting she is, the more likely you are to give her free things, OP. That's in the Entitled People Handbook. You should have called the cops anyway, had her arrested, pressed charges, and followed through until she was in jail with a theft charge on her record. Caught entitled lady stealing from the back of my truck. So, a bit of background, I run a commercial bakery. We make allergen-free bread products, which we freeze and sell to the customer. Last year, I needed a new car and decided to purchase a pickup truck as a company car. The thing pretty much pays for itself, as I've been using it to make deliveries to the local area. What I'm saving every week on freight more than pays for the car and insurance. Anyways, yesterday I needed to make several such deliveries, so I loaded up Cletus, that's what I call the truck, and hit the road. Was on my way to my last delivery of the day when I decided to stop off at a discount grocery store along the way, popped in for exactly 10 minutes just to grab a few things. When I came out to the parking lot, I see our entitled lady of the day grabbing a box out of the back of my truck. I ran to it and asked her, "WTF are you doing?" "Nothing, this is my car." "Don't you think a woman can drive a truck?" I pull out my keys and unlock the cab. Immediately, she realizes she's busted and changes tactics. "My family needs bread and all the stores are sold out. You're hoarding it." "Lady, look at the logo on the box. Look at the logo on my door." "Notice how they're the same?" "Oh, so you make it, which means you won't miss a box." "I also deliver it, and the customer who ordered this most certainly will miss a box. Now put it back before I call the police. If you want bread, go to business 10 minutes up the road. I literally just dropped off a pallet there a few minutes ago." "No, it's too far, and I have things to do. Just give me yours. I'll give you $4 for a loaf." "Lady, I'm selling this for $25 for a box of 4. I'm not giving you one for 4. That's robbery. No bread is worth that much. You're just raising the price because people are desperate. Shame on you." "That's the standard price for my gluten-free vegan bread that's most certainly worth that much." At the mere mention of the word vegan, the lady shook her head in disgust, dropped the box back in the truck, and wound up calling me a homophobic word before leaving. People are crazy. And our second story. Explaining to customer I just had surgery and cannot come to her house. I work for a large company installing and repairing TV and internet, where we're required to give our business cards with our cell numbers for 30-day warranty if anything happens. I have so many stories I could tell, from 5 a.m. wake-ups, being screamed at, to having to block someone's number when they called 90 times while I was on vacation, to someone threatening to not let me out of their house one time. But this one is a special kind of stupid. Almost 1 year ago, I got hurt at work, and a few months ago, I had surgery. So way past the warranty period. 2 days after surgery, I received a phone call. Being high on my pain meds, I answered the phone without checking the caller ID. IC is insane customer. Me is me. IC, "Hi, this is insert name. You were just at my house and my internet isn't working. I have people coming over for the weekend and need you here right away to fix it." Me, "Hi there, sorry to hear your internet's down. However, I haven't been at work in over 6 months and will be unable to come fix it as I just had surgery a few days ago." Since being offered, I've received tons of these calls. Way nicer than this, though, and everyone has apologized and wished me well after I've told them the number to call. But you really have to explain there's zero chance of going out there, or they'll try to work something out with you, hence the surgery explanation. Now back to the story. I see. "What do you mean you can't come out here today? I can't wait the 2 weeks it takes for someone to come out." Me, "Ma'am, as I just said, I can't come fix your internet as I can barely walk right now, let alone drive. It's been over 30 days since I was at your house, and even if I wanted to come help you out, I'm legally unable to drive right now." IC mutters something about customer service and complaining about me to my company. Me, very frustrated, in a lot of pain, and high out of my mind. "I hope you enjoy your time with your company this weekend. Here's the customer service number." It's been over 4 months and I've heard nothing about it. I can only imagine the service rep who had to listen to a woman complain about a dude who just had surgery refusing to fix her stuff. Better yet, maybe she realized how insane she was once she had time to process the fact I said I had surgery and wasn't just being lazy like she was implying. My job has had people rolling the stories I've had over the years. It truly is never a dull moment in the life of a tag. And our next story. Park on my lawn? Now you have to park all the way down the street. So recently, my neighbors opposite my house sold their house to some new blokes from Interstate, though before they move in, they've decided to do some work on it. They hired a few local contractors, or tradies as they're known here, and at first these tradies were like mice. But then they brought in this massive 10-ton truck and parked it square on my front lawn. Now, in Australia, there are laws. You can't obscure a sidewalk, you can't cut off a driveway, and you can't park on someone's property. This will come in later. Thing is, though, I don't own the land he's parked on. It's government property, even though it's my front lawn, so technically what he's doing is not illegal, but it's really insanely rude. No one would think it's okay to park on someone else's lawn without permission, let alone park a 10-ton truck. Worst thing is that this is really bad news for me because I live in a rental. As part of my rental agreement, I have to keep my front lawn, regardless of whether the government owns it or the owners do, in good condition. This 10-ton truck is destroying my front lawn and risking my bond. In an attempt to resolve the issue, I tried to speak to them yesterday. They immediately made a fuss. The first words I expected, were, "This is government land, I can park here." "Righto, mate. I can tell you're entitled," so I tried to explain my situation. All I got were scoffs and groans. Nothing was done, and he didn't move it for the rest of the day. I was out of options, so today I parked my car on the spot they were parking their truck. I figured I'd rather have my 1.5-ton car there than their 10-ton truck. I should mention at this point that I live on the corner of a street and adjacent to a sidewalk. So starting off, he can't park on the road next to my car because it's too close to the intersection. He can't park behind my car because he'd be cutting off a sidewalk. He can't park in front of my car because he'll be cutting off my driveway. And he can't park on the other side of my driveway because there's too little room between my driveway and the next driveway. He also can't park on the other side of the road because his truck's too long, he'd cut off the street. So today I saw the tradies I spoke to earlier parked nearly 20 meters down the road, lofting heavy equipment up and down the street. Thing is, I would have just let him park in front of my driveway if he'd been cool about it, but since he wasn't, enjoy the walk. And our last story. Give me your apartment. A few years back, I bought an apartment off the plan. As I was literally the first person to buy an apartment in that building, I got my pick of apartment as well as the opportunity to customize the layout and bathroom and a few other things. It was meant to be a 3-bedroom. I had them change it to a 2 with a sizable master bedroom and bathroom for myself. I also picked one of the ground floor right at the front and had them put in a deck and a private entrance for me in the gate. It's also the biggest apartment in the building. After over 2 years, it's finally ready. There have been countless delays, but the first few tenants moved into the building November 30th, and I moved in on the 1st of December. While I was moving in, I met one of the other tenants, an old retired woman who lives in the apartment directly above mine. Seemed nice enough and hasn't made any noise or anything, but yesterday I get back from work and her and her son are waiting for me on their balcony. They call out to me while I'm getting out of my car, and I wave and go inside. Didn't realize they actually wanted to talk, just thought they were saying hello. I'd had a difficult day at work and just wanted to chill out. After a few minutes, there's a loud, angry banging at my door. I go to investigate, and it's the son who's pissed off that I ignored him. I told him sorry, didn't realize he wanted to talk. He tried to shove past me and get into my apartment, but I held him back, asked him what he thought he was doing. He tells me he wants to check my place out for his mom. Says she's much too old to go through the apartment building to get to her apartment, that the trip up the elevator's too hard on her. He says that she would like to switch with me so she can just walk in through my personal entrance. I laughed and told him that wasn't going to happen, that I'd paid quite a bit of money for my apartment and wasn't just going to trade it to anybody. He starts calling me the C word and getting very aggressive. Just as it's escalating, the elevator door opens and his mother walks off. She doesn't hobble off. She wasn't using a cane or a walker. She was walking with her own 2 feet. I ignored her son and greeted her. She asked me if her son had explained that she was having trouble with her apartment and would appreciate if we could trade. Her son says something like, "Yeah, I told him, but this C word doesn't want to trade." I explained to her that mine was the largest apartment and I've paid a premium for a lot of the customizations, including the front entrance, and I was not willing to trade. I told her there were a few other first-floor apartments. All in all, there are 8 on the first floor, and only 3 have been sold that I know of. So she may have more luck contacting the developers than asking if she could have one of the ground floor instead. She says that won't do. She wants my private entrance and my large yard so that she can have her family over. I told her no can do. She started to yell that I was being unreasonable and rude and disrespectful and everything under the sun. I told her that I'm sorry she was having a hard time. Perhaps apartments aren't for her. I told her I was not going to sacrifice the new home I'd been waiting so long for simply because she liked it more than her own. Her son chucked another tantrum, but I held firm. I think he thought he was being intimidating, but really he just seemed like a mama's boy. I was actually kind of amused. It ended with me repeatedly telling them to leave and them threatening to complain about me to the body corporate. What are they going to say? Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.